There is a Bukayo Saka season ender scare that has going to be addressed in the press conference as Mikel Arteta talked Arsenal versus Brighton. Emile Smith Rowe assurance. Arteta is also going to confirm to us on how he really trusts in Emile Smith Rowe. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Third video of the day. I suppose I'm gonna be doing two videos. There is a live stream coming in through after here, and it's really gonna be one of the most interesting videos you'll never want to miss out. Let's see close to 300 likes match on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun worldwide. So this is Friday. We are going to Saturday 5th of April. 5 days into April are gone, and we're here to really wait for the remaining 25 to obviously cap the side of the month of April. So the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I've already gone ahead to do some good videos for you. You can as well enjoy them. Bernardo Silva, there is the match preview, Arsenal versus Brighton. You can as well enjoy the video section. And now I come with this story of Bukayo Saka. Now, I want you to continue subscribing because we want to hit 21,000 subscribers, and as it stands now, we are soon hitting 20,700 subscribers. That will be something great if at all we obviously clinch the 6th of April with this huge boost coming in from you, the people that have gone ahead to support this channel massively. Now, let's obviously start it off with Bukayo Saka. Arteta was asked on Bukayo Saka's fitness. He said, "We will know now. We have a training session in a few hours, and we'll know whether he's fit or not. Everyone else seems okay." So don't ask me about any other player. Arteta has told you that he's really having a fully fit squad, and I've always gone ahead to let you know that Arsenal are really doing wonders to the end of the season. They're really having lots of players that are really available, and it shows you that the title fight is between Arsenal and Liverpool, because when you look at Arsenal and Liverpool, they've gone ahead to gate all their players almost fit. But I think Liverpool still has some other problems concerning Diego Jota, Thiago Alcantara, Joel Matip, Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I think in the remaining two games, in the next two games, these two are really gonna show up and really prove to the world that Liverpool is really having a fully fit squad. And Man City is having struggling players like Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ederson. When you look at how he's maintaining the fitness of Kevin De Bruyne, looks like he's trying to give up onto the Premier League and really focus onto the Champions League. But Arteta has told us they need, Arsenal fans need to just really give it some little bit of time and see how it obviously goes on. But it seems everyone is okay, and they're having a training session. They've had one today. I'm going to show you how they went ahead, obviously do their final charge, and then I'll come back here to obviously have a very good say about it. But I tell you, I'll let you know whether Bukayo Saka has gone to travel with Arsenal to the Midlands or not. You know me very well. I'm really one of those people that really gets those stories, and I come here to obviously address you. Not so? You trust me onto that. That is Bukayo Saka for you. And he was asked another question on Bukayo Saka's fitness levels, and he was like, on if Arteta is worried about Bukayo Saka burning out towards the end of the season. He said, "I'm super positive. I think he's going to fly and be so decisive." Now, everyone is worried about this. I tell you, I've been one of the people advocating for Bukayo Saka to obviously go for the surgery, you know, and because a huge decision was taken last summer, I was like, it is wrong. You know, I was like, it is wrong. When a player is having an injury and he keeps playing with it, it surges. Now, I don't want to see Bukayo Saka missing out another opportunity. I know they're really trying to handle him well, as those games they believe Arsenal can win without Bukayo Saka. He's not being given a go. And that I felt like in the game of Man City, I needed him most. And in the game of Brighton, who might be here, if I went ahead to watch my match preview, where I've gone ahead to give him a go into that game, and Arteta is like, I think we can beat Brighton without Bukayo Saka. And he puts him out. So he might obviously bring him on when Arsenal is playing Bayern Munich and reserve him for those two games, because Arsenal has some games. Even Arsenal can beat Aston Villa, it can beat Spurs without Bukayo Saka. And he's like reserving him for the two Champions League games. And we might see to it that he might even travel with Arsenal to Brighton, and Arteta might not really play him. You get? Because he knows to it that he needs him to be available for the two games that he's going to be playing next week on Tuesday and next week but one on Wednesday. That is at the Emirates and the Allianz Arena respectively. So Arteta is trusting the player that he won't burn out. But I tell you, he might. The injury has gone ahead to surge, because the moment Arteta put him out of action and he never really kicked a ball, that is a clear decision that the player is really having something painful. They need to obviously see to it that after the Euros, Bukayo Saka undergoes surgery. He has nothing to do. And when you undergo surgery, like after the Euros, you count July, August, September, 3 months away, then you come back fully fit. But if he goes into the next season like this, I don't really see his injury, the ankle injury, the calf injury a little bit, coming to the levels of obviously coming to healing. I know Arteta said Saka needs to be able to play with pain because he wants to be a world-class player, and a world-class player needs to play 60 plus games. I saw it with Cristiano Ronaldo. In the season he won a Ballon d'Or at Man United, he played on injections. And he took a decision. I think he had an ankle injury, as Bukayo Saka is really having. Ronaldo was like, after winning the Champions League and lifting a Ballon d'Or, he said, I'm going to undergo surgery. And for the first 3 months of the season, Ronaldo was out and the team of Man United was cruising. So let Arteta admit and let Bukayo Saka admit that Arsenal need another player to play on the right attacking side of the midfield with the left foot. Let them sign in that player, and the preseason should be used to integrate that player into the team of Arsenal. Then after the preseason, the rest will be history. You know, as this player plays into that position at the beginning of the season, Saka will obviously find himself joining the journey of Arsenal. And those goals will come in through, because it's on record that players score most goals in the second half of the season. You know, we've gone ahead to see very many players who haven't gone ahead to be having numbers, but look at how Kai Havertz has gone ahead to obviously coming through, and we all know that most of the goals Kai has gone ahead to score at Arsenal have gone ahead to come in through in the second half of the season. So why come out? Why come out and really let the player be around here? Yet he really has a lot of things to do. So I don't really find it sane and decent for Saka to continue playing with his injuries. I think they can let him do this until the end of the season, and then he should really go on a surgery such that this injury heals. You know, if it doesn't heal, you'll see to it that he's going to turn into an injury-prone player. I support Man United. I know exactly what happened to Anton Martial. I support Man United, and if you know, Anton Martial broke down because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer forcing him on the field of play when he's really injured. So we wait and see how that pans out. But Arteta was asked on Bukayo Saka's ability to recover from setback quickly. He said because he's so strong and how much he wants it. When you talk to him and how excited he is about what is coming, he wants to be there. He's getting better and better. It's normal to have little niggles. You have kicks, and he's gone through a lot of that in the last 2 or 3 years, and now look at the way he's performing. So he's good at recovering from injuries, right? Good to hear. But the question is always gonna be, don't you think if those niggles accumulate, they're really gonna cause him problems? That is the huge question that Arteta has to sit down and answer. I know he's strong, he's not an injury-prone player, but these repetitive niggles that I've gone ahead obviously not get dealt with might really see the career of the young lad burn out. He's excited. I know he's an exciting player and Arsenal trust him a lot, but time has gone ahead to come to save the young boy. The player like Saka, with the hunger he's always having to come on the field of play, he will always tell the manager, I want to go and play. But it's up to the manager to make a decision. That's why Mikel Arteta, you are called the manager, and the time has come for him to obviously sit this player down and tell him, please, let's get this season done. However much you're really having a very good, quick recovering from setback rate to really get into the first team and really play the game of football, go ahead and really get a surgery. That is it. That is the best advice you'll ever give to a 22-year-old as he plans to make 23. You know, it will be very bad that Saka in his prime, where he'll be doing magical stuff, he will be readily available. I think that's the most time that he's supposed to be preparing for, because he still has a lot of time ahead of him. We've now gone ahead to say that players play until 35 years of age. You know, sacrificing just 3-4 months, you know, for the betterment and for the remaining decade of your career, that is not asking so much for you. You know, get the season done, go and get that surgery. Go and get that surgery after the Euros, and we might be here talking the Euros, and Bukayo Saka might miss out on the Euros too, you know. So that is it, coming in through from Arteta on Bukayo Saka, and I think I've gonna hit to address it very well. I think it sounds like a repetitive explanation, but I've gonna hit to do this, and every time I really find a story about Bukayo Saka, I'll always come out and really tell you this, because I know what it means for a player like him to obviously undergo what we call a surgery. And there for you. Now, let's obviously go to Emile Smith Rowe. Arteta was asked on if Emile Smith Rowe came bouncing into training. He said you could see that, but I think an example is race. In the previous game, he was not in the squad, and the next game he's ready to start. If someone does not react the way he did after, you are not ready to perform. So, I'm really pleased with that kind of reaction in the teams. Emile Smith Rowe was really strong in the game. Now, he really stood out. We should all come out and really call a spade a spade. This guy went ahead to stand out. That is Emile Smith Rowe. And his game by numbers was really exquisite. He was one of those that went ahead to put in lots of performances, as he really went ahead to play against Luton Town. It was like the things I talked about last season for Arsenal to win the trophy are like coming in through as indicators to really tell us that Arsenal might clinch this trophy. I talked about Emile Smith Rowe, that if there is a player Arsenal need to keep fit towards the end of last season, in their last 10 games, it was supposed to be Emile Smith Rowe, because I know his ability. I trust his talent. I love the player, and the way he really does all his stuff is really out of this world. That is Emile Smith Rowe for you. When you look at the things he does, you know, he never at any one point disappoints, especially when he's physically fit. For the past 2 seasons, he has been really suffering a lot with injuries. That is the calf injury, and he also did, he once made a decision like what Bukayo Saka made in the summer of 2022. He had a calf injury. He was like, I'm not going to go for surgery. He went to the preseason with Arsenal. He played, I think he played one game. He played one game against Nuremberg in Germany. That game ended 5. Was it 5? 5-3, if at all I'm not mistaken. And then, when they went to the American tour, he didn't kick a ball there. He returned. They really got him back in training. He got a setback. He kept getting setbacks, not until he admitted that I should really undergo a surgery. I know players don't want to undergo surgery because it looks like it's really very, very bad. Because when you look at how Julian Timber is taking, look at how long Julian Timber is taking to get back on the field of play. Jesus, injury surgery, but looks like it's really on and off, you know. Tomiyasu and very many others. But I tell you, sometimes you need to get a surgery. All you have to do is to get the best specialist in that position or place that is really having an injury to come out and deal with you. The moment they deal with you, you'll get the best out of it. So that's what we are getting from Emile Smith Rowe. He came bouncing alongside Reiss Nelson, and these two were really excited because they love this club. All these two are academy graduates. It's not like they're like Eddie Nketiah, who was got from Chelsea and brought in at Arsenal. These two were really inducted in the side of Arsenal when they're really very, very young. They are inducted at a very youthful age that they went ahead to obviously find themselves in a better position to learn the traits of Arsenal. They've gone ahead to grow in the DNA of Arsenal, and there is no way they wouldn't get excited when both of them got into the starting 11 of Arsenal. Emile Smith Rowe for the third time this season, and we know he started the game of Sheffield this game, and I think the other game was against Brentford in the Carling Cup. That is it. Sorry, in the Carabao Cup. For Reiss Nelson, I think this is his first start in a very long period of time for the club of Arsenal in the Premier League. 3 years. He last made the start for Arsenal, I think, in the Premier League in 3 years' time. And he's back to obviously get himself going and running. And he shows you that he's still positive. And for Arsenal, you'd love to see it that Reiss Nelson does what he does, such that if you are to sell him, you can get close to 30 or 40 million pounds out of him because it's just a 23-year-old, 24-year-old player. So these players are really exciting. And if I told you Mikel Arteta, you'll be over the moon to see it that these players have been off, but the performances they've gone ahead to put out was really, to me, world class. Reiss Nelson was really doing great, and Emile Smith Rowe also did great. That shows you that they are good players, and they leave a huge question, or they leave Arteta in an ocean of questions that if these boys get regular playing time, how far can they hit? What can their ceiling be? That is the question, I think, that is really, those are the questions roaming through the head of Mikel Arteta. You understand? So we wait and see how that pans out, but the biggest question was all about Emile Smith Rowe and his future, and an assurance has gone ahead to be given to us on Emile Smith Rowe from Arteta. He was asked on if Emile Smith Rowe is part of his plans going forward. He said, yes, I look at him and what happened in the last 2 seasons, especially with him. What happened 3 seasons ago as well. Take all that. It's the best thing that could ever happen, that could have happened for him in his career if he uses it the right way now. So don't look back and say if. No, this happened, use it. That was the best thing that could have happened. I had a great moment. I had a difficult moment. Now I know what I want and how to deal with that. That's going to make me a much more better player. You can see the hell of the player that we have in him when he's fit and playing at that level. Obviously, I tell you, that boy is a dynamite. You know, I love Emile Smith Rowe to an extent that certain people have gone ahead to say that I really have. I'm just obsessed with the player. But for me, if you're gonna hate to be following me here for some time, you know how I react when we're really having what we call players that are really that super good. He's one of those supernatural talents that I've gone ahead to approve because of how press resistant he is, how unselfish he is. You saw him in the game of Luton Town. That interception he makes for the first goal and that cutback assist he puts in for the second goal were really exquisite, you know? And that's what makes him a special player and a special midfielder. He does exactly what you expect him to do at the particular time. Most players like Martinelli and Saka have gone ahead to really lack that in their game. Saka has come out known to really be a lot of giving, especially to his forwards and other players. But Smith Rowe only shoots when he feels like he has to shoot. And the only bait that he hasn't gone ahead to click this season is scoring goals. I've gone ahead to see him being brought on in certain games, and he was really looking a little bit rusty in the final third to finish those balls, but I know that was a result of him not really getting ample playing time. But if he continues to get enough playing time, no one is going to stand in the way of that young lad. He's going to come straight to that midfield, and Arsenal might even find themselves making a decision of not bringing in Douglas Luiz, and they might go in for Zubimendi, who can come out and obviously play as a CDM at Arsenal. That is it. So a lot is still there, but Arteta has gone ahead to assure us that Emile Smith Rowe is in right books with him and is going nowhere. So lastly, let's do this one. When Arteta was asked on whether he's gonna watch games of the rivals, and he said Arteta on whether he will catch Arsenal's title rivals games. He said, I don't know. I have to feel it. Every game will be different. I think my wife and kids will have a big say on that as well. My little one will come and want to play with Lego. He'll go outside and play football or do something else. But I think I will watch the majority of those games, but for sure it will be with them. So Arteta is like, this is the only time I get to obviously play with my kids, and when I get the time to play with my kids, I don't want to really see to it that I don't give them what I want, because he's always a busy man. And him playing on a Saturday, with Liverpool playing on Sunday, I think that comes out as a given match to watch. He knows, and his family will be like, Dad, you have a match where the one's responsible for making this decision, but this is a must watch for you. You need to get to know what is really going on. And I really wonder whether Arteta can have a very good playing time with his family, especially if at all his rivals, that is Liverpool and Man City, are really having a game. For example, tomorrow, who plays first? Man City is playing early, 2:30. I think on their way to Brighton, he's gonna be watching that game. They might watch it on the bus with his fellow players, and then Liverpool is gonna be played on a Sunday. So I think Crystal Palace Man City is gonna be one of those games that he's gonna watch, because there'll be a time difference of how many hours? Very many hours. 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. 5-hour difference before the kickoff of Arsenal. I think you'll watch that, and he'll be excited to obviously also watch the game of Liverpool in there for you. So we are done, and finally call upon for your reactions into the Bukayo Saka scare, and Emile Smith Rowe assurance given to us by Mikel Arteta that he's into the plans of Arteta. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani remains my name. The Muslims, Ramadan Kareem. See you when you see me. Guys, I love you and thank you for the love. Third video of the day. We are returning with the live stream in the next 1 or 2 hours from now, and hope you guys will be really eagerly waiting for it. And I can't wait to talk to you guys. Ciao, ciao.